This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hey there, it's Brian Sebastian, movie reviews and more. And if it's Tuesday, that means we are live around the world with 103 outlets and counting. So the good thing about this is, let's see, I've been back in Los Angeles for almost 3 weeks. 3 film festival, Alexify Expo, 2 more film festivals coming. They keep sending me more invites to do all kinds of stuff. What do they think, I'm in my 20s or something? There's a lot to do all of this stuff. Exactly. Come on now. I want to retire next year. But here's the thing. I always look forward to our Tuesday shows because our notorious co-hosts, Rachel, I'm going to start calling you the badass woman out of Houston, Texas, Chef Rachel Roberts, because I never know what she's up to unless she texts me or calls me. We got Nonstop Terry Marie. I never know what's going on with her. I haven't talked to her, I think, in 2 days. That seems like a lifetime, but I know she's been busy. With over 3 million views and counting, so that's that. Trixie's in Vegas. I'm still waiting to see what she's going on. She's probably smoking or something right now. Howard, Dapper Howard from Nashville, Tennessee. You can't get any better dressed than this. He's like, I hate to say it, not the men's warehouse or anything like that. He puts all of that stuff to shame. And he's got his pearls on because he's wearing them for me most likely because I probably will never wear pearls. But then again, I never know. And then Frank, let's talk about this. I don't know if I've ever met you, but anybody, I got to say this, Side Effect. That was one of my favorite bands, and I bet you never even heard anybody say that before. Going Bananas, that yellow album, I don't know if you played on it or not, but I play it once a week. Multi-talented, guitarist, artist, play with the Gap Band. It's got the remix challenge out for everybody going out with that. Grammy-nominated. What else? Family of Funk.
Yeah.
Frank, what else can I say? The one and only Frank Greenfield, but also DeVille. Start about that. Where do you get that little nickname from?
Okay, so when I first started working with the team from the Mosley Group, Timberland, and Walter Millsap from Conjunction, when you're working with certain, how can I say, like certain culture, a lot of them have like little nicknames. And they wouldn't call me by anything else but Mr. DeVille. I don't even know if they know my real name. No, they do, because I've been, my buddy Lamar and Walter, we're really good friends, but that's just how it is. And so the name kind of stuck. So I just sort of incorporated into, into my name for marketing purposes. So that's kind of how it went. I couldn't come up with it myself. I would never call myself something other than my name, so that's how it worked.
That's funny. Hey, Howard, I know Howard's our dancer. He likes to dance. Well, actually, Rachel and Terry like to dance all the time, too. I kind of sit back in the corner. I used to be the disc jockey. But it was one of those things. Well, I was like the nerd geek in me. I was always up. That's why I started in radio. I wanted to be the disc jockey. I wanted to play all the hits. But when you think of this, when you started, and Howard, I like to know, because I could see you dancing to the Gap Band. I could see you dancing to all the stuff that Frank has played on and probably is producing these days, because you like those R&B hits.
Absolutely.
Frank, let me ask you this. See, he does. We have something for Howard that we want to show every couple of weeks. But it's one of those things like that. Yeah, Terry.
I have TikTok videos of me dancing to the Gap Band.
You
I'll
do?
send them to you later. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Of course I do.
All right, so see, Frank, okay, so there's that. That's a good thing. But talk about this. What year did you go and start playing for the Gap Band? How did that happen? And look where you are now.
Well, it wasn't, I had, well, thank you so much. Those are kind words. But when I moved to LA, I made my name more as a record producer and a studio musician. I mean, I'd always wanted to perform. And I was producing. I had produced a couple of American Idol finalists and done some little gigs here and there. But when I joined the Gap Band was in 2016, 2017. And I had an American Idol finalist I was producing. I was also playing with him live, and we would sit in sometimes with a house band from wherever we were playing. We were playing a small club, like a little R&B club by LAX. And this singer was just a phenomenal singer. He just brought the house down, and a guy comes up to me afterwards and says, "Hey, you're badass, white dude on that guitar. I am. My name's Smokey, and I was Ronnie Wilson's personal assistant from the Gap Band, and we might have a spot for you." So I'm like, how those kind of things are. This is LA, and everybody wants to talk. Everybody's got a card or whatever. But I said, "Okay, here's my card." And, give me, so he calls me in 2 weeks and said, "Okay, can you come tomorrow?" I said, "Well, I don't really know the songs. I know of the songs, but I don't know like the parts." He said, "Well, we're getting ready to go out and do these big shows. And I've been telling Ronnie all about you. And, he wants to meet you," because at that time they were kind of recreating the more rock version of the Gap Band too. So even though I'm more of an R&B player, not of a rock guy, but that's kind of how it happened. So Smokey got me the audition. It was on a Tuesday. He called me. I said, "I'll be right there." They were rehearsing in Los Angeles and in North Hollywood, and Ronnie Wilson said, "Okay." So they were already set up, and they had been rehearsing for a day. And Ronnie says to me, "Okay, we're going to play this song, and when I point to you, you solo, and that's going to be your audition." I said, "Okay." So I asked the keyboard. I said, "Hey, what key are we in?" so that's how it went. We did it, and I, tore it up, and Ronnie said, "Okay, you're in." So that's how that started. But I had been, producing and performing with other artists, trying to break some guys, and for at least 14 years before I was out with the Gap Band. Yeah.
So Trixie Jen, I mean,
Hi,
coming
Trixie.
in. It's good to see you. I mean, I haven't seen you in a long time. So Frank, this is one of our other co-hosts. She's created a lot of the things that she's done with us, and so she decided to pop in late. But that's Trixie, but she's busy working on stuff. Hello, you.
There you go.
Hey, yeah, I'm covering. I'm also, just out here at the 2023 licensing here in Vegas at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center, and today was such a successful day, and met a lot of wonderful people, and just glad to be out here. And so, yep.
And
good.
she's a silver and bronze Telly Awards winner, Amazon. So we have to throw that in there. Also with Custom Trends, a magazine that she's created.
Nice.
So that's a great
For Prime
thing.
Video.
Excellent.
Yeah. And yeah, made a lot of connections with Paramount Pictures, and because I also have produced cartoons in the past from China. And so I'm just glad to meet more people from Moonbug Entertainment and their cartoons. And I'm just glad to work with a lot of different folks that came out from all around the world here at the Mandalay. So it's
She froze a little bit.
everyone.
Hey, Frank, talk about this. Talk about the Family of Funk. Why is that important? You guys are working on a couple things, and a thing for kids that you just did. This, I think it was what, June 6th?
Oh yeah, we did. Well, I attended, a fundraiser, but so the Family of Funk, right when we had the lockdown with COVID, my music career was still going strong. People were still downloading music. I have a lot of music in film and TV, but I wasn't really playing anywhere. So we decided to, myself and two really great friends of mine, Wayman Starks, who's a great friend, Mia Dunn, who's one of the top line writers and one of the singers in the band. We started to put this band together. And so we're relatively young, but everyone in the band has been, knows about the game, have been in it for a while. My friend Wayman and I, we joke about, we're twins. We have the same birthday. But he's a few years older and he's better looking. He was the original Gap Band member and with Charlie Wilson for 30 years. Went and plays keys and does programming, and so that's what we started to do. We did a few shows online with iHeartRadio and started to really get some attention in the industry. Leveraging some of my old production credits and some of the people I worked with. And Family of Funk is just the music that you mentioned. That's kind of what I came up with. I came up with the Gap Band. I came up with Slide and the Family Stone, and throughout pretty much my whole life, like culturally, musically, it was always very diverse, playing with all different kinds. We were all really about the music, and it was really a good time. Like even disco, it had that 4 on the floor beat. The girls were dancing and the guys were dancing. It was just good times, and so that's kind of like our thing. So we are just. It's who we are. We say we bring the rock to the funk and the funk to the rock, and we sing songs about unity and love, and that's who we are.
So Howard,
awesome.
You like to? Well, go ahead, Rachel. You were going to say something, I think.
Awesome. I just said awesome.
Hey, so Frank, talk about your hair. How did that come about? Because women love hair like this. But they don't like it if it's better than theirs, but they still adore it. It's true, isn't it? See, they're all women are laughing. They know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have this saying, suffer for vanity. It's always when people. So when I post stuff on social media or what, they just see the result. They don't know the work. And I don't mean just, oh, thank you.
That's a great photo. Look at that.
Thank you. It's not just the hair, but the hair, first, I'm of Scottish descent, so I have, thick kind of Scottish crazy hair. And so I have extensions put in. This takes a long time. It's hours to do up. And, but with everything else, whether it's, staying in shape, whether it's working on my craft, those things take a lot of time, and take
I love that.
I love
What's that?
Purple.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Terry, you going to say something, Terry? Oh, she froze. Howard, I keep going back to you on dancing. If you were dancing to something from the Gap Band, what would it be, Howard?
It'd be anything. I could dance to all of it. It's all great. You're talking my era. So everything. Just love it all. So.
All right, so Howard, introduce yourself to Frank so he knows who you are and what you're doing and what room you're in.
I'm Howard Wiggins. I'm son of Little Roy Wiggins of Country Music Hall of Fame. Still guitar player for Eddie Arnold. I'm an ex-interior designer, one of the world's 35 leading interior designers. I'm in Andrew Martin, Volume 3, one of the world's 35 leading interior designers. From Nashville, Tennessee, Howard Wiggins, Facebook.
Wow.
And Rachel?
Rachel Roberts Recipes. I have a morning show called Coffee Talk.
Yes.
Yeah. You can watch me in the mornings. I get kind of funky. I'm also working on my a little TV show, several podcasts, including movie reviews and more, which I've been with for a couple of years, and I really I enjoy it. So yeah, working on other things too, a book and whatever.
Excellent.
Oh yeah,
what is that?
Yeah.
That was a little drink that I made. I love to garden, and so like the pepper and all the tomatoes, all that comes from my garden. And then of course I made it dirty because that's my thing. You gotta eat clean but drink a little dirty. Trixie, are you drinking dirty right now? Trixie, are you drinking dirty?
Yeah, what's that?
I said, Trixie, are you drinking dirty? Trixie and I said,
see, I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew
It's
it.
good from right here at the plaza.
Good for you, Mama. She's in Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Wow.
man, it's a great time. Always a good time out here,
Yeah,
But
next
gotta
time
stay
I'm
focused.
putting it
Yeah.
out there.
So you gotta watch out for the D. You got to watch out for that D, the distractions, because
Oh,
distractions everywhere.
I was like, what are you talking about?
I was in the gutter. I was like, what?
See, Frank, what we have to deal
Where's your
with.
mind at, Rachel?
Well, this is
Come
Los.
on, girl.
This is Los Angeles, where like it's
Hey,
the fountain
well,
of
there's a lot.
distraction.
That's
Hey,
so
there's a lot of
true.
distractions, a lot of D. There's a D everywhere you look. So you got to be careful and just kind of stay
Funny.
You do.
focused. Go to sleep early. You got another day in front of you.
That's true.
No
I
distractions.
love your
Absolutely.
swimsuit.
No, eye on the prize. Eye on the prize.
Where's
That's
your
right.
blue swimsuit?
What's that?
Where's your blue swimsuit?
Oh, it's Victoria's Secret. I have a blue and a black one, and I'm gonna wear the black one at the Circa on Thursday. And yeah, it's gonna be fun.
You look so
It's gonna be
good.
like a me day. But I do have to go back to the expo for the morning. But I will be at the Circa on Thursday, having fun all day. 'Cause
Well, Trixie,
it's
tell
like a celebration.
Frank what Custom Trends magazine is all about.
Custom Trends magazine is a luxury magazine and global red carpets and cars, fashion, sports, and nightlife throughout the world. And going to Dubai this August for a couture fashion show at the World Trade Center. So I'll be presenting this next print issue that's going to have all the lovely cast members of movie reviews and more. Brian, woo! And I'm going
I'm
to
not the one you
promoting
want to
this
see. You want to
magazine,
see the
and
girls.
yeah, this magazine is going. This particular issue is nothing but hotness, and 50 of the VIP guests will. I'll have that in the guest bag. So 50 of the VIP members guests. I know I'm getting a little tongue twisted.
In the gift bags, everybody, those 50 members will get the magazine. Congratulations on that. That's good.
That's awesome.
Magazine families there. And they're going to have my magazine, which is going to include all you guys. So that's what's going to be
good.
amazing about it, because everyone's going to be part of it. I feel like this is a celebration for everyone because we're all going to be a part of it.
Man, that's
Yay.
great.
That is
All right,
groovy.
Terry. Nonstop telling what you do, who you are.
And
I've been
yeah,
with
just looking forward
Brian
to
for
that
like
in Barcelona, Spain in September. Yeah. Just
Yeah,
keep, I
Derek.
mean, it's just events after events. Things have been going great. I'm just fortunate that things have the momentum has been going, and because it was slow for a little while, and I started feeling stressed out about that. But then if you kind of keep your head up and keep focused, the momentum will speed up faster than you can keep up. So, I'm just blessed to have gone through that struggle and just kind of push over that curve.
As they would say, the struggle is real, isn't it? Anybody who knows,
Oh,
Frank,
man,
you know
yeah,
this as a
it is.
producer, you know all of that stuff. It's not easy when you're behind that plexiglass and then you're on the other side working with those artists and things like that. It's a lot of work, and people don't really realize all that stuff that goes into to make it work.
They don't. And the struggle is real, and it's there's. I always loved like those saying anything that's worthwhile is not easy. Have a do or die attitude. Once you're in, once you commit, you have to go all the way in. Success depends on your backbone, not your wishbone. All that stuff is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Terry, go ahead.
I'm Terry Marie Nonstop. Nonstop is my brand. I've been with Brian for since 2015
8 years.
as a co-host. Yeah. So what I love to do is what Brian's doing now. I like to be on the red carpet. I love to interview celebrities. I love doing it. So I love going to all the red carpet events. Also a fitness competitor, fitness junkie. I'm trying to get myself back on stage. I've done acting. I've been just kind of a side note, since we're talking about music. I used to be a go-go dancer, and I go-go dance with Velvet Revolver. Yay! I had to throw that out there. And I've been in 2 rock videos with my friend's band, Wicked Star. I'm also a day trader. I'm also a businesswoman. I've got some other projects up my sleeve, but I don't want to talk about them until they're out there because I don't want to jinx them. But I stay really busy. That's why I'm nonstop. So there you go.
Good. Busy's good. Busy's good.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank, talk about this. For those people who don't know you, you're also that martial artist. Talk about that, because that's the world that I came from when I was in disc jockey too. Because Tang Sido is what I studied. Agawan Kempo. So I love that. And then I I might have met you at the Martial Arts Hall of Fame at one point too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
And
a lot of our friends in there, Cynthia Rothrock, you name them,
oh,
they're
yes.
all,
Okay. Right, right. So I've been doing, you said Tang Sudo. So most likely you did the Mudikan.
Korean stuff. Yep.
Mudikan style. So I did the Mudikan style of Taekwondo, which they're
Hmm.
both traditional styles. So I've been doing martial arts now for about 26 years.
Wow.
But so I have a black belt in Mudikan Taekwondo and also a Shodanbo in Sinmu Hapkido. So they're both traditional Korean styles. I'm not really into fighting or MMA. I mean, I respect those guys, but I just got into the martial arts for, to control here.
Mindset.
Yeah, to give, good mindset, to give good discipline, to stay in like incredible shape. I mean, I train now, but I don't have time. I always want to go for another degree, but I don't really have the time for that because of the time involved with, a music career and just maintaining, all that and keeping my own training up. So I had become an instructor, but I trained mostly in Philadelphia before I moved out here. And when I was getting my career started, I was doing some instructing and trying to make a little cash on the side. But, what I really learned and how it applies to my music career is I remember being in martial arts for about a year and a half. And I was never really that athletic. I had run maybe cross country in school, but wasn't really into sports that much. But some of these young guys are coming in, and man, they got great flexibility, and they're just really athletic. And I remember the first thing, about comparison, when you're seeing someone, they have these great natural skills, and I didn't have that. Everything for me came at a price. Martial arts was, to get where I had achieved in martial arts, or even as a music career, those things came with great difficulty. So I realized that one stage, around a year and a half, that I could only be the best version of me. I could only do what I do. Like those guys had this, but I could do this. And I realized what my gifts were in martial arts. And I kind of carried that over through life and especially in my music career, because you have to have a tenacity, a do or die attitude, a thick skin. You have to be able to, they say, well, failure is not an option, but if you are not used to failing, if you're not used to getting knocked down, and being able to get back up, that's where you win, And so if you took, if you're studying Tang Sudo and it was traditional style, you probably got hit. You probably got knocked down a little bit, but you learned how to come back. You get resilient. And
Absolutely.
yeah.
I
And
learned how to outthink my opponent, which is what I'm still doing. How do you outthink these people? How you
That's
see
right.
things that they can't see coming down the pipeline. That's what keeps me going. It's definitely not always easy, but it does set you apart. And then you're like, well, why doesn't everybody else see this? How come I see it? How come they don't see it? And it's
Yeah.
sort of like how Trixie started, custom trends. I'm really happy that we really connected. She's come a long way on the stuff that she's doing. Even Rachel, even Terry, seeing what Howard's doing. That's what I like seeing. I like seeing the team grow in the different ways and what they really want to do. That's the
Yes.
things that make me happy. And again, it's like doing that stuff behind the scenes, behind the plexiglass. Don't leave me alone. Look at what they're doing, and I'll be
Yeah.
happy. Because if you make them shine, you look good behind the scenes, and that's how I like to do it. And I know that's kind of what your philosophy is too.
Yeah. And, it is a lot of time our dream is fulfilled through other people. When I moved out to LA, I knew one person. And so it wasn't like who I knew that got me in, but it was basically kind of just, pushing through, like I'm going to do this or I'm going to die, trying, like those kind of philosophies. I had a good, I always tell people if they're trying to get a career, but they have a regular job and they're like, when's this going to happen? I'm like, in retrospect, I can tell you every job that I worked, every single thing that I did applies to music career in some way. Knowing how to deal with people, knowing how to vet certain situations, like what you say, knowing certain things, being able to see like what's around the corner, what's actually going on with this, being able to look at my life objectively. Is this good? Is it not good? Now, what now the industry says, okay, what Frank thinks is good, but only because I've been able to develop that skill. Is like what I'm working on right now. My vision for this project is not good. I need to shift it. So it has a lot to do with those things.
So when Rachel's creating things and picking things out of her garden, it's called eating fresh, obviously, and eating healthy.
Eating
How do
clean.
you state
That's right.
eating clean and drinking a little dirty? Exactly. See, she's rolling her eyes at me. See, she understands. See, but musicians, this is one of the reasons why I love Van Halen, why I love David Lee Roth, and when we would get together, I would chat with him in the corner when he was straight. It was all about his flexibility in the martial arts. That's
Yes.
why I liked him.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't see anybody else doing that, but that's why I liked him. And that was fun.
And you brought up a key issue. There is clean living, like eating well, drinking, lots of water, good sleep. Unless I'm on a deadline or something, like I don't hang all night in the studio. I do not, up all night, sleep all day kind of thing. I don't drink at all. I don't do anything, and because at this stage of the game, when you're disciplined with your life and you create a brand, you can roll over a lot of these younger cats because they are not disciplined. They don't have that kind of wisdom.
Exactly.
They're still eating, junk food or, and, partying. So the key is to stay in shape and keep the machine, functioning at, 100%.
Can I add? There's some things I want to add that I think are very important as a fitness person. I totally noticed the difference when I do not drink at all, how much more disciplined I am and how much more I get going. So cutting out alcohol, cutting out sugar, cutting out gluten, that's when I perform the best, with everything in my life. And so I really have made I had a lot of stress this year, but I noticed that I don't know, I just noticed I'm more successful at everything when I just cut those things out and just have a clean lifestyle. And people don't really realize that alcohol ages you. It really does, even a small amount. When you stop, I'm just saying that this is just reality. When you stop drinking, and I've noticed this before, I've noticed a difference on my skin. And then I've noticed when I started drinking again, it just kind of gets ashy. I've just noticed a difference on it. I'm more aware of it. I'm more aware of my body. But another thing I want to add too, that you were talking about, is as far as putting yourself out there, you have to put yourself out there to fail, to be successful.
That's right.
And so really, really, I think that you should never get up. When you fall down, you dust yourself off, you get up, and you try again, and you learn from those mistakes. And that's the way I've always lived my life. And Brian knows that. I'll have times I'll get so frustrated with stuff, but I will never give up. I always go, okay, I'm going to pick my ass up and I'm going to go for it again. And it's a determination that will make you successful.
That's right. That's good. Good stuff.
Well, Howard, you're a perfect example of that you don't drink. You look
I've never
good,
drank.
and you do the difference. Well, talk about your lifestyle. You have that positive attitude.
Well, I'll be turning 70 in 3 months now. So
Incredible.
And I've never drank in my life. I've tasted it, but I never drank. My parents were never strict. They always offered me a drink. And when I was young, I tasted it and I thought, I don't like that. So when you're a kid, you form an opinion of what you like and you don't like. And a lot of times you never try. I never even drank coffee probably 5 years ago when my grandson started. I started drinking coffee. Now I'm like everybody else. I'm starting doing that.
I love
But,
coffee.
when I turned 65,
gotta have
I walked
coffee.
over 50 miles in one day.
Well, I'm drinking because I'm in Vegas.
Well, that's fine,
Pardon?
Trixie. I'm not saying.
No, you got an
Life
excuse.
is a balance. Life is
But
a
it
balance.
was just today. Yesterday, I drank one pina colada when I was at the pool because I knew I couldn't drink at night because I had to wake up at 6 in the morning. And so I went to bed early, actually. And then today was a long, successful day. And I think I deserve one beer. And maybe
Yeah, but
two
Trixie,
more.
in your defense,
My whole
in
point
your
is
in your
balance.
defense, Trixie,
But I'm gonna make it
you
to work
work your butt
tomorrow.
off. Well, no, you work your butt off doing all the stuff that you have to do when you're in Houston, Texas. You're not really going out doing the stuff. It's hard to do all of
What's
these
that?
things. I said you work your ass off doing a lot of the things, to make custom trends a reality. So you don't get a chance to really go and party. Did we lose you?
Okay, I think that we were breaking up there, but when I'm at home, I've been working out every day. I don't drink at all. I work
You look
out.
great.
I've been cutting.
So yep, we lost her.
Yeah, well, Trixie's been posting her progress on social media for everybody. She looks great.
Yeah. Everybody, I was at the Los Angeles Greek Film Festival closing night, and you never know what they have. It's usually open bar, all the food out there. You just don't know when you're going to get stuff. I was so hungry that I didn't even get a chance to see the closing night movie because the camera crew was packing up. And then I was talking to people afterwards. I just wanted to have some water. So they had this great water company, Aquacup. I don't know if people can see it, but this was good. That was one of their sponsors. And I liked it, but I just wanted to eat. And they, Greek food is rich, it's good. But I was like, I just wanted to eat, and they didn't eat until like 10:30. And I was like, I don't like to stay out at night. I wanted to go because every day is a new day. And I was like, do I stay? Do I have this food? Oh, I gotta go. It's like after 10:30. I'm like, I gotta get back safely, So I go back and forth on those things. And when I'm in one place, I'm like, I'm gonna have a couple drinks, and then when I'm in Los Angeles or Tennessee, we're gonna be running around doing a lot of stuff. So that's the moderation of stuff, how to balance it. It's never always easy. And as we get older, our bodies are definitely changing, That's why I admire what Howard does and all the stuff that he does and how he looks, because that's a certain discipline that he has.
But Brian, there's things that you can do when you are, because I'm not saying I don't drink it all, because I like to have some wine, and I like to let loose every once in a while. I'm just saying in general about 80%, the majority of the time I'm trying to, be as healthy as possible. But when I do drink though, I try to take milk thistle, and I try to hydrate as much as possible and have a lot of electrolytes, because the problem with alcohol, it dehydrates you, and then you don't get as quality sleep. So if you are going to drink, it's a good idea to take milk thistle, which detoxes your liver. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do to detox the toxins out of your body, because alcohol is a toxin. It just is.
And that's one of the reasons, Rachel and Howard and Terry, why we like Balance 7 water, right?
Yep.
All right, Rachel, you get to talk about this. And
Right.
O2.
Oh, O2 skincare. Tricks, Rebel, did we ever get that video to go? This would be a good time to post that. Yeah, O4 skincare, we had them on in Balance 7. They're fantastic people. Dr. Norstani out in California.
Frank, you'll like this.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Hello, ladies. Yeah, well.
Go ahead and show it.
Hello, ladies. Father's Day is coming up. What did you get him? A tie? Another bottle of cologne? Please. You know what he really wants. Who we had on our show, and we loved these people so much that, we've continued working with them since we had them on, which was probably, I don't know, like a long time ago. I've been doing my Balance 7 for, God, it seems like a year now, right, guys? That stuff is fantastic.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, it puts your body in a true alkaline state, so you don't get sick, and you don't, makes you feel stronger, helps recovery. They've got a great product for Terry, Terry, do you use the post-workout and the pre-workout drinks? They have that. And then the skincare, oh my God. Wow, that stuff is so badass. I get the Diasport, the Botox, in my forehead, and I went 6 months without needing to get it from using Dr. Norstani's O4 skincare. 6 months. Now, normally I go every 3 months, and I need to get more. Well, I mean, he told me it was going to do that, and I didn't believe him. And then when I started using it, I was like, wow, I love it. So, good stuff. Yeah.
All right, Howard, we have one of your usuals today. Let's see what this one is. So Frank, every couple of weeks I like to show Howard dancing. He's got a bunch of them that I have. I never know which one I'm going to have, but he's always dancing, and I think it's great. So I'm like, let's see what this one. All right, Howard. So
Awesome.
where was that location? What was it about? Because did you know this woman, or you grabbed her off the dance floor, or she came to you?
Well, that's the first time. She's a fiddle player here in Nashville, but it's kind of like a rock fiddle. And that was the first time I ever met her. I just danced with her. Sharp outfit, though. And Linda Blaine is her name. She's gotten out where she plays the fiddle and does a hula hoop at the same time.
Oh, my God.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love her.
Interesting.
Brian,
Usually
we don't
I
have
meet
to take her.
somebody, I stay friends with them for a long, long time. So that's why I like to go out, because you never know what life's going to lead and who you're going to meet. Just like I met Rachel.
Hell yeah.
That's true.
Hell yeah.
Terry,
Brian,
you were saying something.
Oh, do we have the video that from the event I just did? By any chance?
I don't know. Let's see.
Video.
I'm not quite sure.
I think I sent it to you.
We have this. I don't
And
have a video.
okay.
I'm sorry.
Let's show it next time.
Well, here's the thing. You guys have to remember, everything has to be in at a certain time. We can only have so many that we can show. It's just like, Frank, we had a bunch of things that you had. And so at that point, it's tough. And then we had Dave Grodski, who was texting back and forth from me from Australia, who was supposed to be on, and he couldn't find his link. So that's what happened with him, Rachel. But talk about putting the band together. How did you put everybody together for Family of Funk?
So, like I said, Wayman and I and Mia Dunn, we kind of just started writing the songs, putting the songs together, and we had a different. We had Mia, and then we brought a singer that I had worked with in the past. We had to replace her with someone that I found on a listing, and it's kind of an interesting story. I think it was Musicians Contact or someone. I found Cherie, and I called her. I said, I think that I said, what is your name? And she gave me all of her credits, and she had sang with a bunch of people, just an incredible vocalist. And she said her name was Cherie Dunn. I said, Cherie, I think that you're supposed to be in this band. And she said, why? I said, because the other singer is Mia Dunn. So you could be like the Dunn sisters, even though they're not related. They look, one's darker complected, one is lighter complected. And so we got the illustrious Dunn sisters, and they both sing incredibly. So we wanted kind of that Sly in the Family Stone, or Prince in the NPG kind of a vibe, but it also to be organic. So it just kind of happened, I think, with my R&B and pop background, Wayman's. And so the way we wrote it, we were writing the songs, it just kind of ended up happening that way. Mia is a great rock singer. She also sings R&B great, like an Aretha Franklin style. And then, drums were my first instrument. So I wanted a certain approach to rhythm, and being an R&B, being a record producer, rhythm is so important, rhythm and melody. And so I wanted a gospel type of drummer, and a slap kind of a bass player. So we got Corey Lewis on drums. He's got a lot of those gospel R&B kind of chops, and Harrell Simon on bass, and he plays a talk box, and very disciplined. Everyone in the band is extremely with music, people generally think that music people are not good business people, but in reality, to be successful in the music business, you have to be a good business person. You have to show up on time. You can't show up all jacked up or strung out on something. Don't bring your crazy husband, or don't bring your crazy girlfriend or wife up in here and bring up any drama. It's really run like a business. And so even when we first put the band together, we did maybe 2 or 3 rehearsals, and then we went and did a bunch of shows. We gave everybody the material, learn it. We did a couple remakes. and we had, written our own originals. And so that's kind of how we did it.
You were talking about that, the good business person. I think of Gene Simmons automatically, because Gene was all about business, still is. But look
Yes.
what he created, him putting stuff together with Kiss. I mean, he was the person that did not drink. His outlet was sex, and we had fun talking about those stories, but it
Yeah.
was always about business first.
It has to be. And, when we put the Family Funk together, it was not just, being a band in Los Angeles is like, there's so many bands, and, the clubs,
They've
they
changed.
passed. Yeah, it has, greatly. But here's the thing is, I know this from having a career, of now almost 20 years in the music business, is it causes me to change. Like, I'm a complete different person than when I first moved out here. I didn't know anything about the business. Now I know a lot about it. I mean, I'm speaking at colleges. I spoke at USC a year and a half ago to the music program, and they have more education than I do, but I have real world experience. But when I put the Family of Funk together, we had a whole marketing plan with an animated TV series that we've gotten about. Oh, you might have to. I'm a cat person, so my cats sometimes insist on being in the shot.
Bring her in.
But so we had a whole business plan, to bring in the other members as also writers and publishers, so they can get a publishing deal too, so they can get their kind of traction in the music business and learn about how the business works. And so we had a whole plan, rather than just let's go out and do a bunch of shows and because that's how you have to approach it, like a business. This is all that I do, is my career. So.
Well, people forget that you came from a jazz classical background too, and I'm a drummer, so I understood that. I thought you might have been coming from that drum world of what I listened to. I thought so. See, us drummers, we bang harder. We know what we're doing most of the time, don't we?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I as far as like with music, it's like finding your own lane. Even back to where I was talking about martial arts. What do I do that I can really, be the best at what I can do? And some of my natural gifts were rhythm and melody. I also have a hearing disability, which causes me to hear things differently. It's sometimes a problem communicating, but it's also like caused me, because I hear like the way music is vibrating or the rhythm of it. So even when I was producing, when we were working for like Music World or Interscope, I would bang out a lot of rhythms like on my body, or we would kind of throw them up on the grid. And so everything has to come from that kind of rhythmic background, like you said. So, that's kind of how it works.
Terry, couple favorite songs, music groups, since you like to do your TikTok videos, throw a couple out there for the audience.
Well, everybody knows I'm a big Foo Fighters fan, but
No, everybody doesn't know that. No.
Oh, I thought
Keep going.
Anyway, well, I'm like an 80s hair band person, so I mean, I love Guns N' Roses. I mean, I love Van Halen. I also like Gwen Stefani, like No Doubt. I mean, I don't know, I like all kinds of different music, but I really do like 90s rock, like, I don't know, grunge. I like rock, I like funk, I like everything, really. I'm just not a big country person, not a country, but anyway.
Rachel?
I like Johnny Falstaff, Johnny Cash, people named John.
There you
go. Patsy Cline. I think myself, I think I can sing, but nobody's discovered that yet. Except for me.
Hey, you got a producer right in the house. Go. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Go for it. Sing something.
Sing, girl, sing.
Don't sing
Happy birthday to you. I need to warm up. It's better after a little drink. I promise.
Okay.
And Howard?
Well, I was in the Jack White video, which has what's the trick? It's got over 3 million views in 1 week, and I'm dancing in that, even at my age. So that was fun. So I like anything I can dance to. I'm not a big listener to music to go hear, like you said, country and just listen to it. I want a beat I can move to, because to me that's why I'm going.
I agree. You
You
know,
can't
when I was a
lose.
disc jockey in the clubs, I always wanted people on the floor. I always had people on the floor, and when I was that disc jockey in all white clubs, they wouldn't let anybody of color in. So I had to
Wow.
make sure that I stayed in that. I was the lone person of color in there who was playing all the hits that they had never heard of, but they loved it. So that's when I learned you've got to keep that audience engaged with things, and it's the music that you're playing. And it didn't matter what it was. I would be playing Yes, Owner of a Lonely Heart, underneath Richard Pryor talking in his comedy, and they loved it. It was like, "What is this? We've never heard this before." But they were out there dancing to it. They didn't know. So you got a chance to experiment with things as that producer. That's what you do, right, Frank?
Yeah, and you know, one of my mentors way back told me, he said, Frank, if you want to be on the radio, you listen to the radio. You know, and I realized like all the music that each one of you have talked about. I mean, I love all that stuff too. I love all of it. It's when you approach it, everyone has their own artistic manifesto, what it means to them to be an artist. You know, and you know, for me, it's one thing, but to someone else, it could be another. You know, I have a lot of friends that are from the East Coast that are, you know, they love the classic rock and stuff like that, and that's great. But for me, working in the industry, you know, I stay current. You know, we stay pop. We just are doing this. We're doing a remake of Early in the Morning, a remix like an EDM remix of Early in the Morning by the Gap Band, and it is 2024. But in
I
order,
can't wait to hear that.
yeah. So, and we have radio stations that are going to play it. We got a well-known rapper, Liso. He's a well-known actor. He's rapping on it, and we've got. It is just it's coming out phenomenal, but it's to stay current, you know, and that's when you're doing pop and R&B, you're doing, you know, what's happening right now. When you're writing for TV and film, you know, sometimes they're looking for throwback stuff, sometimes they're looking for sound-alikes, you know, but you're generally playing like, I tell people, you know, if they want to get music placed, I said, is this radio ready? And most of the times they say, oh yeah, it is. But most of the time I listen to them like, it's not. This has to be like banging, like on the radio, you know, ready. So yeah, that's to answer your question in a long essay. Yes.
Terry, give us social media links for everybody. We got about 3 minutes left.
Nonstop Terry Marie on all platforms, and then terrymariaofficial.com is my website.
Rachel, since Frank likes coffee, so coffee talk, right?
Yeah, Frank, I know you need a backup singer. Happy birthday to you. Rachel Roberts recipe. Frank, I sent you a message on Instagram.
Okay.
Okay.
Howard,
Just plain and simple, Howard Wiggins Facebook. You can watch me there all the time. And I want to be a back down dancer, not a singer.
I can dance.
I was
Howard, we can dance together.
I was a go-go dancer. I've done it before.
Terry, you're the best dancer ever. Terry, let's see some Terry moves right now. I want to see that Terry move. Terry, you. Frank, have you ever seen Terry's videos? Frank,
no.
have you ever seen Terry? Oh my God.
Send me the link.
Oh my God.
he said send him
Hell
links.
yeah, Terry.
So send them to him later.
I
All right.
will.
Hey, Frank, give your social media links for everybody. I started following you today.
Okay, so my own EPK is frankdevillegreenfield.com. The band is thefamilyoffunk.net, thefamilyoffunk.com, or my own personal Instagram is Greenfield Frank, or with the Family of Funk at Instagram, Family of Funk at Facebook. Mm-hmm.
And the movies that are coming out this week, let's see, The Flash. Get a chance to see The Flash? Very good. I've been waiting for that for a full year. That's coming to theaters. Let's see, on Netflix, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Great documentary on him. Can't wait to run into Arnold. I want to play chess with Arnold. It's been a while. And Fubar, the series on that. If you get a chance on Paramount Plus, see Sylvester Stallone and the Family. Very good reality show. Let's see, Flaming Hot on Hulu. Even Nagoya directed it. It's very, very good. And I got to thank Melissa Manos for the Greek Film Festival. And all of my new friends that I found, Greek from around the world, calling all Greeks, thank you for that, at the 17th Annual Los Angeles Greek Film Festival. And with that, I want to say this. I want to thank you, everybody. Frank, thank you for coming on. I can't wait to come and see you guys play. I don't care where it is. That'll be fun to see. And I can't wait to hear early in the morning because I love that as a Gap Band fan.
I love that song.
Playing everything. And guess what? No matter what, I still play Party Train, the long version. The 7-inch version, So I always say this, have a good night tonight, better day tomorrow. You see someone like Howard and Rachel and Terry and obviously Frank with that smile, please give them one of yours because the world needs it. I'm Brian Sebastian. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks so much.